When you hear the name Ford, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Maybe it's the trusty F-150, the family-friendly Explorer, or the iconic Mustang. For decades, Ford has been the backbone of American automotives, building reliable cars for everyday people. But what if I told you that beneath that dependable, everyday exterior beats the heart of a pure, unadulterated racing champion? That Ford has a secret history, a legacy of creating some of the most breathtaking, dominant, and downright legendary supercars the world has ever seen. Today, we're peeling back the curtain. We're going beyond the family sedan and diving deep into the world of Ford Suit's ultimate performance machines. This is the story of how a company known for mass production decided to build cars that could conquer the world. Let's turn the clock back to the 1960s. The air was thick with the scent of gasoline and ambition. On one side of the Atlantic, you had Enzo Ferrari, the patriarch of Italian motorsport, whose scarlet racers dominated the legendary 24 Hours of Le Mans. On the other, you had Henry Ford, too, a man with a point to prove. Ford tried to buy Ferrari, but Enzo pulled out at the last minute, famously insulting Ford and his company. That single act lit a fire. Henry Ford II, stung by the rejection, gave his engineers a single, monumental task: build a car that could beat Ferrari at his own game. At Le Mans, it was a mission fueled by pride, rivalry, and an almost limitless budget. This wasn't about selling more cars. It was about establishing dominance. The result was a machine that would change motorsport forever. The Ford GT40. The name itself is a legend. GT4, Grand Touring, and 44 its height in inches. This car was a low-slung, brutally powerful weapon. Early attempts were plagued with reliability issues. The cars were fast, incredibly fast, but they couldn't survive the grueling 24-hour race. But Ford was relentless. They brought in the legendary Carroll Shelby, the mastermind behind the Shelby Cobra, to fine-tune the project. The result of this collaboration was pure magic. In 1966, Ford didn't just win Le Mans, they obliterated the competition. 3 Ford GT40s crossed the finish line in a staged 1-2-3 formation, a moment of absolute triumph and a slap in the face to Ferrari. It was a victory so profound it echoed through the automotive world. And they didn't stop there. The GT40 went on to win Le Mans for 4 consecutive years, from 1966 to 1969, cementing its place as one of the greatest racing cars of all time. It proved that an American automaker could not only compete with European elites, but could beat them decisively. Fast forward a few decades, the legend of the GT40 had grown, whispered in garages, and celebrated in magazines. By the early 2000s, Ford was approaching its centennial, and they wanted to celebrate in a big way. How do you honor a legacy like the GT40? You don't just build a tribute, you resurrect it. In 2005, Ford unveiled the Ford GT. This wasn't a replica, it was a modern reinterpretation, a supercar for the 21st century that bled the DNA of its ancestor. It had the same iconic silhouette, the same mid-engine layout, but it was bigger, more powerful, and packed with modern technology. Under the rear clamshell sat a supercharged 5.4-liter V8, pumping out 550 horsepower. This thing was a monster. It could launch from 0 to 60 in about 3.5 seconds and hit a top speed of over 200 miles per hour. It was raw, analog, and demanded respect from its driver. There were no fancy paddle shifters, just a good old-fashioned 6-speed manual. Driving the 2005 Ford GT was an event, a visceral experience that connected you directly to the machine and to the history it represented. It was a worthy successor and a collector's dream from the moment it was born. But the story doesn't end there. Ford, it seems, just can't stay away from the racetrack. For the 50th anniversary of that historic 1966 Le Mans victory, they decided to do it all over again. They secretly developed a new car, a machine designed with one purpose: to return to Le Mans and win. In 2015, the world was stunned by the reveal of the third-generation Ford GT. This was something else entirely. Unlike its predecessors, this car wasn't a reimagined classic. It was a purpose-built, state-of-the-art racing machine, barely tamed for the street. The V8 was gone, replaced by a twin-turbo-charged 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6. Some purists were skeptical, but they couldn't argue with the results. This engine, derived from Ford's Daytona prototype racing program, produced over 640 horsepower. The car's design was a masterclass. In aerodynamics, everything, from the dramatic flying buttresses to the active rear wing, was sculpted by the wind. The chassis was a carbon fiber monocoque, making it incredibly light and rigid. This new GT was so focused on racing that Ford made a controversial decision. You couldn't just walk into a dealership and buy one. You had to apply. Ford handpicked the owners, prioritizing loyal customers, collectors, and people who would actually drive the car and act as brand ambassadors. It was an exclusive club, and getting in was a privilege. And did it live up to the hype? Absolutely. Absolutely. In 2016, exactly 50 years after the GT40's first victory, the new Ford GT returned to Le Mans and won its class. It was a Hollywood ending, a perfect circle, a story of heritage, innovation, and the unwavering will to win. The GT's victory proved once again that when Ford sets its sights on performance, it doesn't just compete, it conquers. It was a modern testament to the spirit of Henry Ford, II, and Carroll Shelby, a continuation of a legacy born from a rivalry half a century earlier. So, from the raw, thunderous GT40 that humiliated Ferrari to the retro-cool 2005 GT that brought the legend to a new generation, to the technologically astounding modern GT that reclaimed glory at Le Mans, Ford's supercar saga is nothing short of epic. It has a story that proves that a company famous for putting the world on wheels can also build machines that sit at the absolute pinnacle of automotive engineering and desire. These cars are more than just metal, carbon, fiber, and horsepower. They are symbols of American ambition, ingenuity, and the relentless pursuit of victory. They are the beautiful, brutally fast, and unforgettable exceptions to the rule. They are the supercars that wear the blue oval with pride. Next time you see a Ford badge, remember the titans that share that same name. Thanks for joining me on this high-speed journey through Ford's incredible supercar history. It's a testament to what's possible when you refuse to back down. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more automotive stories, and let me know in the comments which Ford supercar is your favorite. See you in the next one.